fáilte isteach ga Suantraí Íosa. You're very welcome to the Lullaby of Jesus, where we prepare the readings for the liturgy of the following day, in this case, Saturday the 23rd of November, week 33 in ordinary time, and the feast of Saint Columbanus. Columbanus is born in Leinster, and he becomes a monk in the great monastery in Bangor, and he leaves there roughly at the age of 50 with his companions, and they go on a mission into Europe. They want to bring the gospel. Now, he's a very gifted man, a poet, a scholar, an abbot. We have his tomb, we have his writings, and Dr. Tom O'Fee, the Cardinal Archbishop of Armagh, God have mercy on his soul, wrote an excellent little book, and there's a link under the video on YouTube, a little story about him, then a link to a page in Catholic.net, then a story about Tom Fee's book, and then a link to a further article about St. Columbanus and the concept of Europe, that he's the first person that sees Europe as a place in itself. The first reading tomorrow is taken from the book of the Apocalypse, and we have the two figures. They're like two lamps lighting for God. Perhaps it's Peter, perhaps it's Paul. Both of them are killed for their faith, and both will rise again and overcome the power of darkness. Nothing can stop the work of the gospel. And so the psalm picks up the theme, "Blessed be the Lord, my rock." Now, this is Psalm 144, and it's saying God is something that we can build our lives on. He is a solid foundation. The gospel tomorrow, God willing, the Sadducees, they're trying to catch Jesus out, and they have this clever story about a man who dies, and his widow, in the Jewish regulation, his brothers should marry his widow so there'd be children to receive his inheritance. And the story is that there were 7 brothers, and all 7 died. And who would she be married to in heaven? And Jesus's answer is that heaven is going to be entirely different. I'm reminded of what Paul says, "Eye has not seen, nor ear heard, what God has prepared for those who love him." So it's going to be something more wonderful than we can imagine. Our concept of love will be changed by, as St. John says, we shall become like him because we shall see him as he really is. So there's a profound transformation to take place in the resurrection, and a perfecting of love that goes beyond the silly questions that the Sadducees have. With thoughts such as these, let us go to our beds, and let us pray that we shall indeed awaken in the morning on the feast of St. Columbanus, with our hearts filled with the wonder and the praise of God. Agus gamana dia ele cóchtach sibh, a hormach agus spirit nave. Amen. Slán go fóg. Bye for now.